Why, hello there and welcome back, or rather, shall I say, happy World Goth Day, everyone. Please let me know within the comments, how are you choosing to celebrate this day? I, for one, am actually about to head on a date. That is right, I'm going on a date with my lover. He is going to pick me up within roughly an hour, so I figured I would show you what's in my evening bag to pass the time. So without further ado, let's continue on, shall we? Since today is World Goth Day, I figured I would wear a full set of my Whitby Jet. In case you don't know, Whitby Jet is considered very gothic given its history. If you don't know Whitby Jet already, I have a whole episode dedicated to its history. I adore Whitby Jet so much. I shall leave it within the description below. Feel free to check that out. So this is my evening bag of choice. This is new. I got this not too long ago and I believe it is supposed to come with a chain, but unfortunately it did not have one when I searched. I think someone unfortunately stole it, but I can't complain as this was the last one left and it was a very good price, so I'm still very pleased with it. Something I love about this bag most would be this part right here. It's so unusual, the design. I don't have anything like this within my collection and I am very pleased I get to finally use it. Once again, I can feel myself twittering on here, so let's continue on. The first thing I would place inside would be my phone, but unfortunately I'm using it as my viewfinder for the camera, so I can't show myself placing it in, but it will be in there, I can assure you. The next thing I would place inside would be my keys, obviously to my home, but not my car keys since my lover's going to be picking me up. Next, I'm going to bring a few cards. Of course, I'm not going to show those on camera, but alongside my cards, I am going to bring some cash. Now, some of you may be asking, why bring cash? You should bring cash everywhere. You never know when an emergency could happen, or perhaps you want to tip the waiter if you're heading to a restaurant, and cash is just such a good thing to have. I don't know about you, but cash over cards any day. That's just me. And thankfully this bag does have, let me show you, this bag does have a little slit, as you can see here, which is perfect enough to fit some notes. So there we are. Next, I'm going to take with me a small pack of tissues. Now, I know restaurants, of course, do supply napkins, but you never know if an accident's going to happen, or perhaps I might nip into the loo and they don't have any loo roll. It's just, of course, I think you get it. Now, what else? Next, I have this. This is just a little pill box I got some time ago. Of course, never skip out on taking your vitamins, supplements, whatever you take, all for good health. So I'm not skipping them at dinner, I'm going to take them with me. And my lover can't say anything about it, because if he does, that means he doesn't value my health, and that means he's certainly not my lover. Next, I'm bringing a black kajal. Of course, I am wearing quite heavy eyeliner tonight and I might need to touch up on my waterline, so in the bag it goes. In addition to makeup, I'm not going to take with me any powder, because when I do my makeup for a date, I really make sure it's properly set. So there's no need to take any powder with me, except I will take what my lips are dressed in tonight. So I have this lip liner. This is a deep dusty rose shade, and then I have a lighter dusty rose shade. There's something about a dusty rose shade that I feel really complements me. Shades like bubblegum pink or just neon pinks in general, I don't think they complement me too much, but this is my favourite. This is actually a new lipstick within my collection. It is from the brand Sensai. Let me see if I can show you. There we are. I've been wearing Sensai since I was a child. It's actually the first ever makeup brand I ever used. My mother did my makeup with this when I was so very small. I can't remember how old I was, but I do have photographs somewhere, and to think all these years later in adulthood now I'm wearing it. Such a strange and bizarre thought indeed. So I think it goes without saying that I am a very long time fan of the brand. Now, how can one dress one's lips without a good mirror? This is the one I'm bringing tonight. Don't know if you can see, it is quite sleek. Of course, I like to bring sleek mirrors whenever I bring an evening bag. That way it gives me more room. So this is the mirror I'm taking tonight. Here is the mirror close up. I think you can see the reflection of Buddha in there. Do pardon that. I'm afraid I grew up with Buddhism, so there are Buddhas all over my home. While dressing nice is important for a date, it's also very important to smell nice too. So I'm going to take with me a miniature version of my perfume. The perfume I've chosen for tonight is Amour Amour by Carcherel. You may recognise this from a past episode when I first unboxed it. I've been wearing this since the episode. I've grown quite fond of it, though I won't lie, the scent does not last long. That's my one and only complaint about this. My favourite thing about this is it contains notes of rose, and I've said it once and I shall say it again. If I cannot frolic through a garden of roses as I please, a perfume with notes of rose shall suffice. So that's why I'm taking this tonight. It has just occurred to me, what if my lover doesn't like roses? I think I may have to get a new one. That is a non-negotiable in my books, so we'll see how this date goes. Jokes aside, of course. Or not. Next I have this pouch. Let's have a little look and see what's inside. I'm afraid I only have two things inside of here. I have this, which is a Whitby Lucky Duck. To those of you who may be unfamiliar with what a Lucky Duck is, now there are many fakes on the market, but this is an original. Lucky Ducks from this specific shop are said to bring, of course, good fortune. There's been stories of people that have bought these and they've won the lottery, or they've done so many things and they've all been fact checked and proven to be true. So when I heard that, I couldn't resist getting one for myself. This I got on my very first trip to Whitby all those years ago, and I like to keep him within inside my bag just to add a little bit of extra luck whenever I go. Alongside the Lucky Duck here, I have this crystal. This is black obsidian. A little tradition of mine is I like to keep a small piece of obsidian within every single one of my bags. Obsidian is said to keep away anything bad and evil, so I like to keep it kind of as a form of protection. One can never be too careful, so in the bag they both go. Next, I'm going to take with me a travel-sized body wash. Now, this may seem strange to some, but to me, I have very, very sensitive skin, so whenever I pop into the loo, whether it be at a restaurant, friend's house, or so on, I can't always use the soap because, of course, sensitive skin, so I like to keep my own within my bag. That way I can always wash my hands. So this is the one I'm taking with me tonight. This is the British Rose from the Body Shop. Of course, well, I think it speaks for itself, British Rose, and you know how much I adore my roses. That's why I refer to you all as my roses, and the scent is divine. I always get compliments whenever I wear any of this rose collection, and yes, another to pack. For my last item, I'm going to bring with me a spare pair of knickers. As a woman, of course, accidents happen. I've heard so many horror stories of women having accidents while on a date or while out and about. So after hearing all of these stories, I figured that I would keep a spare pair of knickers inside all of my bags, and this just folds down into nothing, so it doesn't take up any room. So in the bag it goes. So there you have it. That is everything I keep within my evening bag. Now I just have one last thing I would love to share with you all, and it's that my evening bag is useless. Now you see, it seems my lover hasn't arrived, and the reason he hasn't arrived is because, well, he doesn't exist. Neither does the date night, and neither does my attire. I'm actually not properly dressed. I'm sat here within my joggers as we speak, and the reason for that is it's all a lie. You see, I wanted to take advantage of Goth Day to teach you that please do not believe everything you see online, because how would you know whether or not I actually was heading out on a date? I see so many people within the comment sections online saying, I wish this was me, or I wish I was doing that, and the thing is, you don't actually know what's happening behind the cameras. There are so many people that can lie to the camera. They can say that they're about to hop off on their private jet, or that they're going on this amazing cruise, or that they have the partner of their dreams, but you really don't know what happens behind the camera unless you know that person personally, which you probably don't. So I just wanted to take World Goth Day to show you, please do not compare yourself to anyone else. So just like how I did here, how would you know if I really was going on a date? How would you know? You wouldn't, and that's the scary reality of the internet. Again, please do not believe everything you see online. Just please do not compare yourself to another. All you have to do is be the healthiest version of yourself. That is all you need. Do not compare yourself to another. Since we're being truthful here, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to spend World Goth Day doing some of my favourite goth things at home, which consists of playing my favourite goth video game, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Excellent game if you've never heard of it. Then I'm going to probably listen to a bit of some of my favourite goth bands, She Passed Away, 9 Inch Nails, The Cure, followed by a late night watching of The Lost Boys, my favourite goth film. That is what I'm actually going to do, and not go on a date. So I suppose you could say I got all dressed up for nothing, but I think this episode was worth it. Let me know in the comments what you think of this look. If you didn't know me and I was your blind date, how would you react to this look? I'm curious to know. It seems we've reached the end of the episode. Thank you for joining me in yet another episode. Happy World Goth Day, and ta-ta for now.